What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. Today's positive, affirming message is live for today. And more importantly than that, because that's pretty cliche, live today, live every day the way you want to live it. Don't live it by other people's standards or society standards or whatever ideas you may think you need to live your life by. Do it in the way that you want to live your life by, not by the way you think you need to live it. Because why else would you go on living if you can't live it the way you want to do it, to the standards that you set for yourself? Also, in that, don't live in the past. Don't let the things that have happened to you in the past dictate the way that you live your now. We can't change the past. The past is the past. Yes, they can shape us. We can learn from the past. But don't let it affect the way you live today. Learn from it, but don't dwell on it. To quote my band song, Killing Ghosts, "Forged by fire, the day will come soon. Face the past, it can't define you. Take up arms, you can rectify. For what is dead can never die." So don't live in the past. Live for the now. Live your life the way you want to live it. To your standards, not to other people's. And I guarantee you will be much more fulfilled for that. So with that being said, let's go on ahead and get into today's episode. Where are we at? God, who knows? I think we are on episode 168 of Life's a Garden. Oh, hell yeah. We're back with another brand new episode, another solo episode, because fuck it. That's what I want to do. I'm living my life the way I want to live it. I do plan on getting some guests in here very, very soon. It's just been one of those busy times where it's more comfortable. It's easier for me to just do the solo podcast for a little while now. Especially with football being back. We got all the band stuff going on. It's been tough to book guests and make the time to get a guest in here. But I promise we will be getting some guests in here. For now, though, we're going to enjoy a little bit of you and me time. I'm here to just entertain the way I know how. Feeling good, living good, looking good. I don't know if you noticed, but donning the brand new Cutthroat merch. Just in time for the fall weather. We got the new zip-up hoodies and the beanies. These just came in. Super happy, super stoked about these. I've honestly never been a zip-up hoodie guy. And we kept getting a ton of requests for zip-up hoodies. Because we have the pullover hoodies. And I just never thought about zip-up hoodies. And I don't think I've ever really worn one. But I'm telling you, giving you the honest truth, these are very nice. And we paid a little extra for like the nicer quality. Because you gotta. If you're gonna go ahead and make merch and expect people to buy it, get top quality shit. You know, you want to get the top quality stuff because people work hard for their money. I always have a hard time having people buy my stuff. So if they're gonna do that, I at least want to give them quality. So I will go the extra mile to order quality shit. We got the little C logo here on the side. On the back, we got the fish logo. Super nice, super comfortable. It's like perfect for fall weather. I probably wouldn't wear this out in the snow, but just with a little breeze, a light breeze. By the way, I just want to mention this as well. I'm loving that we're finally getting the fall weather. It's finally sprinkling in there. We've had a few little showers here and there, light breeze. We're done. I think we're finally out of the 100-degree weather. We might even be out of the 90-degree weather. It's going to start getting chilly. We're going to start seeing those leaves changing soon. Oh, God, it makes my heart feel so good. Sweater weather is back. And like I said, just in time, we got the brand new merch. So, if y'all are interested in checking out the brand new merch, just get a hold of anybody in the band. We have it all available. Dude, my whole extra room is like a store now. We got so much merch, and I'm trying to sell it. So we got it for a while though. I'll tell you that. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Well, hopefully it does. I shouldn't say that. Hopefully it does go fast. People want this merch. But at the same time, I hope it's enough to sustain us so I don't have to do another merch order anytime soon. That's what I meant. But we're rocking it. We're living it. We're living good. Also, I got to throw it out there as always. Brand new EP out from the band, Palomar. Released about 3 weeks ago. It's been doing great. If you wouldn't mind going and check that out if you haven't. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, anywhere you can get music. That's Cutthroat Palomar. Go check it out. It's a real good CD. And on top of that, I thought I would share with you guys some analytics from the record. So we've sold or given away at least 150 solid, like, hard copy CDs. At least. Because we ordered 300, and I swear we're at half or less than half of that by now. Which is awesome. It's awesome to know that there's that many CDs roaming around out there. As far as the Spotify numbers go, currently as of September 12th, this is the last time it was updated. As of September 12th, now keep in mind, the CD came out August 23rd. And my math isn't great, but that's 20 days-ish? About 20 days? It might be exactly 20 days now that I think about it. In 20 days, on Spotify alone, I don't have the numbers for Apple. I don't have the numbers for like Pandora or I guess you could find the view count on YouTube if you just go check that out. I think we're averaging about 50 views per song. If you count both the YouTube channels, we're at about 100 views per song. But on Spotify, we are at a total of this number is like kind of awesome to me, to be honest. In 20 days, we are at 1,969 streams on Spotify alone. We have also been listened to in 13 total countries, 12 outside of the United States. Obviously, the United States is accounting for most of those plays, but oddly enough, 25 streams in Italy. Like, I don't know where that number comes from or how we got the connection to Italy, but hey, rock on Italy. And then Canada has the second most, but we've been heard in Canada, the United Kingdoms, Australia, Germany, Spain, Finland, Belgium, Austria, Netherlands, Romania, and Slovakia. Which is crazy. 20 days, we've been in 13 countries, almost 2,000 streams. That's unreal. Thank you all so much. We're so grateful. So glad that the CD is a hit. I've not heard one negative comment from anybody out there who I've asked or talked to about it. Our genre of music isn't everybody's flavor, and even those who aren't big rock or metal fans have given us compliments, have said good things. So to all those people out there who have taken the time to listen, who have spent the money to buy the record or to download it, and same with the merch, anybody out there who's bought the merch, you have no idea how grateful we are as a band, and how much it means to us for you to be fans. So just wanted to throw that out there. Always being grateful, always, I want to be humble and grateful and thankful for all of it, because it's truly a dream come true to even be doing this. So want to make sure I send my thank yous, and make sure you go check that CD out if you haven't. Just, dude, I'm not even kidding. I am straight up, I feel like it. I feel like I'm absolutely just living that rock star life these last couple weeks. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because it's the health aspect of it is not really a health problem, because I've stuck to it. I have been working out. Remember I told you a couple weeks ago I was down on my workout regimen. I was eating like dog shit, and I've upped 2 of those things, because the 3 problems I was having, it was lack of working out, next to none, eating fast food and crap and, junk food, sugar, things like that. That was bad. And then drinking, excessive drinking. Now, if you had to guess which of those 3 I'm still doing, you'd probably guess correctly. And it is, in fact, drinking. I have been drinking my face off. And to that extent, I should also say this. I've been very conscious about taking days off of drinking. I'll go 2 days off, 1 day on. Unfortunately, that 1 day on makes up for those 2 days off, because I go pretty hard. Having football back, being able to go out hang out with my friends, do all that stuff. Obviously, we've had a lot to celebrate with the music and things like that. So the nights I have gone out, I've pushed the limits a little bit. But, as I said, I've been on a more scheduled workout regimen. Definitely not as good as I want it to be. And then the eating, I have been cooking at home a lot more, so that's been helpful, and it's been better. Nonetheless, I do feel like I am just living that high life rock star life. Granted, I still get up and go to work every day, but we're plugging the merch, we're plugging the CD, I'm sleeping in late, I'm partying late at night, and you know what I think it is mostly, as far as the rock star lifestyle that I feel that I'm enjoying? It's this like don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do whatever I want. That's the feeling. It's that do whatever you want mentality. That's the way I've been feeling lately. And there's the side of it where it's like, if I want to drink, I'm gonna drink. If I want to eat that, I'm gonna eat that. Again, been very aware of what I'm doing and like not overindulging. But I think, like I said, it's just that mentality of like the don't give a fuck. Because we all just want to be big rock stars living in the battle of a damn. Good old fucking Nickelback. And you know what? Fuck that. Fuck that statement I just made. Because not the sarcasm in talking about Nickelback. Because I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to say it's not even controversial. Nickelback's a good band. Nickelback's a really good band. Now for me, Nickelback's one of those bands that I either like the song or I don't like the song. I won't even say hate, and I won't say love. I don't know that there's a Nickelback song that I necessarily love, but there's plenty of good Nickelback songs. In fact, Nickelback, and for anybody out there who's a Nickelback hater, you're just that. You're a hater. They don't gotta be your favorite band. They are like a rock band. They're like a very rock and roll band. They're not metal. They're not heavy. They're just a rock and roll band. You could call it mom rock or dad rock or whatever you want. Soccer mom rock. But nonetheless, you cannot deny the fact that these boys know how to write a song. One of their albums, it's one of their earlier albums, like over half the album is singles. And they're all like top singles. These boys know how to write a hit song. They've done it time and time again. Now, Rockstar, it's a shitty song. I don't like that song. I think it's very cheesy. And I think it was, in all fairness, I think they wrote it to be cheesy. Nonetheless, it was very popular. Photograph, not a song I enjoy. But, dude, Side of a Bullet? You ever heard Side of a Bullet? That song fucking slaps. And, I mean, some of their newer stuff, it's actually kind of heavy. If you listen to, like, a song called, like, This Means War, or, fuck, I can't remember. I can't think of the name of it. But some of their newer stuff is actually really good and pretty heavy. And on top of that, I'm going to go a step further for you. And I'm going to say this. Creed fucking rules. Creed not only is a good band, Creed is a fucking awesome band. Give me all the shit you want. I don't care. Mark Tremonti is one of the absolute most underrated guitar players of all time. Scott Stapp, say what you will about him. The craziness that he went on, the guy, he's a good dude. He had his demons, and he's a decent singer. Their songs, they're fine. You know, I mean, they're kind of a rocky band too, but dude, some of their shit is also heavy. Go listen to Bullets. The song is called, is it called Bullets? Yeah, Bullets. Go check out the song Bullets. Badass song. Overcome is a great song. They got some pretty banger songs. And I'll tell you that. Creed is a badass band with arms wide open. But yeah, I just had to throw those out there because I think those bands get way too bad a rap. There's nothing wrong with them. And I don't know, there's been this whole revolution around Nickelback recently where like all the hate is becoming, it's being now realized that hate was pretty much just like a status thing. It was kind of like, it was cool to hate Nickelback. That was like the band that everybody hated on. And now it's kind of become, I don't know if it's just trendy to hate on the people that hate Nickelback and actually like them. I don't know if that's becoming a trend now. Or if it's just like the truth. Or if people are just realizing, hey, everybody's been giving these guys shit for so long and they're actually not that bad. Saving Me? Fucking great song. They got some good songs. I'll say that. I'm gonna stand here right now, fully decked out in my band's merch, and I will endorse Nickelback. Like they need my endorsement. But as a man, I will I'll put that out there. And you don't got to wonder where my allegiance lies. But yes, we're living the rock star life. It feels great. Dude, I mean, that's another thing. It's like I guess here's another aspect of living the rock star life. And I'm not proud of this, okay? But I have definitely let a lot of responsibilities fall to the wayside. Not important ones. Like, I'm not behind on my bills and I'm not like making sure stuff isn't kept up. But like normally I'm always very tidy. Like my house is usually pretty tidy, and to an extent it still is. It's not like a mess, but it's more of a mess than I normally would let. I've let a few things like that go slide. I've procrastinated a lot of things that I probably shouldn't. Little things that I need to do around the house or yard work or just things I should be taking care of that can wait. They probably shouldn't, but they can. So if they can wait, I'm like, fuck it. It can wait. Like I said, that kind of carefree mentality is how I'm feeling. But dude, I'm so fucking high on life right now. Everything has just been so good lately. And why shouldn't I feel that way? As I said in the beginning, I'm here living my life the way I want to live it. Until it becomes a detriment, until it becomes a problem, then we'll make a change. But for now, there's no problem. It's not hurting my life. It's not affecting anything. We're good. We're partying. We're having a good time. Party like a rock star, party like a rock star. Who sings that? I don't even... That's a hip-hop thing, I think. But I want to give credit where it should be. Party like a rock star. Party like a rock star. A rock star song. Shop Boys? Would have never guessed that. Boys with a Z, of course. Shop Boys. All right, let's move forward. It's Monday, you know. We always broadcast here on Mondays. I'm recording on Saturday, but this is so just so you know, I haven't seen this last week's football games. But nonetheless, we're going to have a little bit of an Overreaction Monday segment here on the show. Last week was heavily sports... Excuse me, I almost threw up in my mouth. Last week was heavily sports talk, and today's not going to be too much different. I gotta give my reactions, okay? I gotta give my thoughts on week 1 of football. And of course, I'm gonna just start with my Denver Broncos. Yes, clearly I was wrong about my prediction. I said the Broncos were not only gonna win, but that they were gonna win handedly. That did not happen. Now, I will say this. In the defense of the Denver Broncos, their offense looked tremendously better than it did last year. Russ looked poised. He got out of the pocket. He made some good throws. The run game started getting going there. The O-line looked better. It didn't look great, but it did look better. What else about the offense? Russ, no mistakes. There were no turnovers. So to that effect, I will say positive. On the other hand, the defense. The defense is what we've been known for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Our defense has been our staple since we won the Super Bowl. And it's never really gone down. Now, it is Overreaction Monday. We're overreacting. The defense looked poor. The defense did look lackadaisical. There was a lot of problems. We didn't get any pass rush going. Secondary looked sloppy. We allowed way too many big plays. And especially in the red zone. Our red zone defense was not great. Now, to that effect, I will go back and say it was week 1. We can make easy corrections. I'm not hitting the panic button yet. But I'm just telling you what I saw and what happened. Obviously, we had the problems on special teams. Will Klutz missed an extra point and a field goal. Now, the field goal we can let go. It was a 55-yard field goal. Not uncommon to miss those. The extra point, inexcusable. We lost by 1 point. You left an easy point on the field. That's the difference in the game. You make that extra point, it goes into overtime. Or the game is dramatically different in a lot of ways. Like the way you game plan for the end of the game. So we'll go into this week. We're playing the Washington Commanders. Definitely, they're not a great team. It's in Denver again. So I'm looking for a bounce back. I'm not going to make any predictions. I don't expect anything. I just hope for a win. I expect and I do hope for a win. So that's what we're looking at this week. Don't know what to expect, but we roll on. We keep on rolling, baby. Otherwise, in the NFL, was there any real big surprises? I'm trying to think. The Cleveland Browns came out looking like a terror. Deshaun Watson is still a great quarterback. Regardless of his off-the-field problems, still a great quarterback. Can't be denied. They have a great offense. They have a great team. So the Browns are going to be a problem this year. More of a surprise, I think, than the Browns being great was that the Bengals looked horrible. The Bengals couldn't get anything going. Now, you could chalk that up to Joe Burrow not playing a lot of the preseason, not getting to practice a lot there at the end, leading up into the season because he was hurt. But I think they'll bounce back as well. This is another situation that you wouldn't want to hit the panic button. The Cowboys absolutely destroyed the Giants. That was epic. Not totally unexpected, but an ass whooping like that is always shocking. And I'm just going to reiterate this. Can we fucking be done putting NFC East matchups on primetime? If you're going to do it, do the Eagles and the Cowboys. That's the only matchup worth fucking doing. Anything other than that is garbage. They always are garbage games. They're either like 7-10 or a massive blowout like this. That was one of the most boring games to watch. It was the first Sunday night game of the year. The Monday night game was way better. Now, we got to talk about that too. Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles 4 plays into the season. If you're a Jets fan, I sympathize with you so hard. All the hype you're getting a legend of a quarterback to come play for your, let's be honest, shitty franchise. And he's coming in to save the day. Bro goes out there, he walks out, it's on 9/11, carrying the American flag. 4 plays later, out for the season. Now you're back to Zach Wilson. I sympathize. I feel for you. That's absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking for Aaron Rodgers as well. The guy was looking for a redemption season. He was looking for a fresh start, and he's going to have to wait till next year to get that. A lot of people are saying he's done. I don't think so. I think he will be back. He's not going to want to end his career this way. The real thought is, how well does he come back? Does he come back the same Aaron Rodgers? Because to tear your Achilles in his age, it's definitely harder to bounce back. But the guy's loaded. He's got the best doctors in the world. He'll be just fine. He'll be back. The Bills looked absolutely atrocious. That was a shock. You know, again, it's week 1. Don't hit the panic button if you're a franchise that lost, and don't get too cocksure if you're a franchise that won. It is still week 1. Let's get a few weeks into the season. Let's see how things pan out, and we'll go from there. What do we got this week? Let me make a couple of predictions this week. I'm not going to go too crazy here, but and I'm not going to give you too many I'm not going to bet. I'm not going to do parlays or anything like that. So, let's I'm not going to do the whole week, or maybe I will. Fuck it. Ravens Bengals, tough game. I'm going to take the Bengals in a close matchup. I think the Bengals bounce back. It is in Cincy. Seahawks Lions, let's go Lions, baby. I think the Lions are going to take it hard. They are on a tear. They're coming off, they got 10 days rest, coming off one of the biggest wins you could imagine to start the season. Lions. Colts Texans is going to be an absolute dog shit game. Or, actually, you know what? Let me take that back. This could actually be a really good game. Because when you have 2 not very good teams facing off against each other, that's when you get some pretty good games. So, hey, you know what? Maybe it will be great. I'm going to take the Colts, though. Texans absolutely suck. Bears, Buccaneers. The Bears look terrible, and they're going to be terrible. The Bucs actually look pretty good with Baker Mayfield. I'll give them credit there. Chiefs, Jaguars. Dude, give me the Jags. Fuck the Chiefs. F-U-C-K, fuck the Chiefs. That's all I got to say about that. I will never pick the Chiefs. That's a lie. I would definitely pick them if they played the Bears. But in this case, they're playing the Jaguars, who are also coming off of a big win. Just beat the Chargers. Trevor Lawrence is him. The Jaguars are going to get the business done. Now, I will say this. It'll be a close game. Packers, Falcons. Give me the Falcons. Packers they looked good in game 1. They beat the Bears. Nothing to write home about. Falcons, they looked good as well. I think it's going to be, I think the Packers are going to be a little high on themselves, and I think the Falcons know who they are. Raiders, Bills, give me the Bills. They're not going to lose twice. Fuck the Raiders too. Bills are going to absolutely destroy the Raiders. Chargers, Titans, Chargers. Enough said. 49ers, Rams, give me the Niners. The Niners look absolutely dominant. Giants, Cardinals, 2 horrible teams. Give me the Giants. The Giants are going to be feeling embarrassed. They're going to come back. They're going to whip some ass. I don't know. If it might be close. I'm not going to give you any money line there. Or I'm not going to give you any point spread there. Jets, Cowboys. Oh, man, that could be a good game, actually. Jets' defense is good, but I just don't think that Zach Wilson's going to have enough for that Cowboys defense. Give me the Cowboys. Broncos, Commanders. We all know it's going to be the Broncos. Dolphins, Patriots. That's the Sunday night game? Damn, son. That's going to be a good game. Give me the Dolphins. And then we got Saints, Panthers. That could be a decent game. The Monday night doubleheader. I'm going Saints. And then Browns, Steelers. Browns, baby. That's going to be a good game, though, because the Steelers do have a good defense still. And that could be, it's a rivalry game. Who knows? That could be a toss-up, but I'm going to take the Browns coming in hot. There's your NFL picks for the week. Now, another thing I have to give reaction to, because I told you. Tell me say whatever you will about my predictions, how my sports betting goes, what have you. Did I not call Sean Strickland beating Izzy? Now, I did say I thought Izzy would win, like most people did, but I said it would not be surprising if Sean Strickland won this fight. And all the reasons I gave for why Sean Strickland could win absolutely came true. I think he got, and I stand by it, I think he got in Izzy's head. I think the fact that the crowd was on his side, the fact that he was not afraid of him, the fact that he showed no fear, that he walked him down the whole fight. Sean Strickland not only beat Israel Adesanya, he dominated Israel Adesanya. And the craziest thing about that is, nobody's done that. Even when I guess you could say Jan Blachowicz kind of did. But even then, Izzy outstruck Jan Blachowicz. Blachowicz won based on wrestling. I don't think you could say that Blachowicz dominated Izzy. I think you could say that it was a unanimous win, but I don't think he dominated him. Alex Pereira, the first time when Pereira beat Izzy, Izzy was winning that fight leading into that 5th round. Pereira just so happened to go on a full-on barrage and ended up whipping his ass at the end. It was a Hail Mary by Pereira. So nobody's really dominated Izzy. He lost 4 rounds of a stand-up fight. 0 wrestling. And Izzy is a kickboxer. Izzy's a stand-up fighter. And Sean Strickland outmatched him. That's unbelievable. First time Izzy's ever been dominated quite like that. By a guy that nobody thought would do it. That's unbelievable. That's actually so awesome. And I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm telling you how it is. I stand by my statement that Sean Strickland is one of my new favorite UFC fighters. He's an absolute. He is the new Conor McGregor. Not so much in the dominant factor, but in the talk. Like he's so unhinged, and he's. You never know what he's gonna say. You never know where he's coming from. But here's the thing about Sean Strickland, I'll say, is so like a breath of fresh air. He's honest, and he's not phony. He's authentic. Like what he says, he believes in. He's not like playing to the camera. He's not like making up bullshit and saying crazy he says crazy shit, but he doesn't say it to like it's not scripted. He doesn't like come up with it the night before or anything like that. Sean Strickland's a beast. Super super happy for him. That was amazing to watch him win the championship, beating one of the greatest of all time. And on top of it, everything he's gone through in his life, had an abusive childhood, had his demons, came back from them, found fighting. And that's the other thing too, is he's a fighter's fighter. He loves to fight. So congratulations to Sean Strickland. That was one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen. And shocking. Like just absolutely shocking the way he destroyed Izzy. I don't think they should do a rematch right away. I think Izzy should take some time off. I think the next thing would be Sean versus either Duplessis or Sean versus the winner of Costa and Shamaev. I think that's what you get for the next fight. And how great would it be if they put it on UFC 300? Be pretty epic. There's a lot of possibilities for UFC 300. Yeah, I had to give my reaction on that. Sean Strickland. Oh, and by the way, I'm telling you right now, so Sean Strickland's nickname is Tarzan, because that's just what it's always been. He needs to change that shit now. His new nickname, at least in my books, I'm always going to call him this, is Sean Strickland Propane. And it's Propane. Strickland Propane. Dude, if he doesn't run with that, he fucking 100% should. Because that is the most epic shit ever. USA, baby, repping the US. We got a couple Seans with some belts around them. Sean O'Malley and Sean Strickland, 2 of my favorite fighters. Let's fucking go. Going back to last week, I do want to... I feel bad. I kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I did forget that last Monday was 9/11, and I failed to make mention of that on last week's episode. I failed to say anything about it, just purely because I didn't realize that that's what the date was. I didn't realize it until I posted it, that's what the date was, and I totally was like, fuck. How did I forget to make any mention of that? God, it's crazy to think that was 22 years ago. That's crazy. I mean, it still is. I'll say this: 9/11 is one of those things because I was in it would have been first or second grade when 9/11 happened. Obviously, it did not have quite the impact on me then as it probably did for most people. I didn't understand the ramifications of what had happened. I didn't understand the impact, or even the idea of how just devastating any of that was. Zero clue. I'm a child at the time. Having said that, 9/11 is one of those incidents that I find very fascinating. And like it's one of those things that you know how a lot of people, older guys, they love watching World War II documentaries and Vietnam and things like that, like war documentaries, historical stuff. It's like 9/11 is now considered a historical event. It was considered that. It has been that. But, you know, obviously we're 22 years later and it is a historical event. It's something that happened in history that altered the course of history. And so that always, for a long time, 9/11 has always been one of those things that has just struck my curiosity. I've watched many documentaries. I have dived deep into the conspiracy theories, which I don't think are too far-fetched. I've watched so many just candid camera stuff and YouTube videos about 9/11. Like, it's just one of those things that has always captured my curiosity. It helps that I did, in fact, live through, like, it was a time I lived through, and growing up was a major factor in, it altered so much. We went to war with Iraq and Afghanistan, which was stupid. Like, those were not countries that were even involved in this. Obviously, that's all, you know, whatever, however you want to look at it. But, yeah, and for me to forget that, for me to like not make mention of it, I felt bad about that. So I wanted to take the time now to really, you know, talk about it, pay my respects, and of course, to those who were affected and lost and everything like that. We remember, we never forget. Absolutely. The more, now being the age I am, when I look at that stuff, it is harrowing. It's insane to think about that really happened on our soil. And I just watched a documentary the other day about Flight 93, the one that crashed in Pennsylvania. And I was always under the impression that the U.S. military shot that plane down, and that they kind of used the idea that the passengers had fought back and risked their lives or sacrificed themselves to save others. I always kind of thought they used that narrative as propaganda to help, like, war efforts and to help patriotism. I was very much wrong. There is full-on audio and accounts by family members who had been on the phone that in fact was the case. The passengers did fight back. They did take that plane down. They took the plane over and they took it down. I think actually technically the terrorists took the plane into the ground, but they did it because the passengers fought back very heroically. And to all those passengers on that plane, man, that truly is an act of heroism, because they were going to crash that plane into the Capitol building. I thought it was going to be the White House, but that plane was actually supposed to go to the Capitol building. And a few crazy things that I found out in that documentary were, one, that flight had gotten delayed. So that flight was supposed to leave earlier. And the only reason that those passengers were able to take over that plane and knew that that's what was happening was because the towers had already been hit and their family members had told them about that. So they knew that that plane was headed to something else. It was gonna crash into something as a weapon. So that's why they took it over, was to help save other people. Like I said, I also thought it was going to go into the White House, but it was supposed to be the Capitol building, which was full at the time. And even if it wasn't, it's a highly densely populated area, so there would have been mass casualties if they had done that. And then the other crazy thing was they had tried to get military authorization to shoot the plane down, and they would they only approved lethal force against planes that weren't responding 20 minutes after that plane would have hit. 20 minutes after that plane was scheduled to hit the Capitol building. So, another thing too, that this wasn't in the documentary, but this was kind of crazy thought too. It's rumored that there was supposed to be a fifth plane. You had the two on the towers, and then you had the one in that crashed in the Pentagon. The fourth one that was supposed to hit the Capitol building, and then there was a rumored to be a fifth plane that never made it off the ground. And I don't really know a whole lot of details. I've only heard one story about it, and my memory is just so bad I can't remember all the details. But there are there's substantial evidence to say that there was supposed to be a fifth plane, and I don't remember where it was supposed to hit. I can't remember what the potential target was for that. But yeah, you'd have to look into that and into that's what it was. The fifth plane was supposed to hit Tower 7. And that's the conspiracy theory. The conspiracy is that Tower 7 fell at the World Trade Center, but nothing hit it. And the fact is that they think it was still, those towers were set to fall no matter what. They were this is the conspiracy theory, okay? I'm not saying that this is what happened, but the conspiracy theory states that those buildings were rigged to, collapse. Detonate. And that's why they fell straight down, like they did. And the fact that the fact that the structural integrity was so weakened, there's a lot to be said about that. And the fact that that Tower 7 fell without anything striking it. They think it was rigged to detonate or to crumble no matter what. And that's what that fifth plane was supposed to land at in Tower 7. So that's just the rumor. That's just what they say. You'd have to look into it more. I'm not going to dive too deep into that. But yes, nonetheless, I still want to make mention of 9/11 and, where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? Good old Alan Jackson. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I can tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. Well, I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this from when I was young. You think I'll get flagged for that? You think the YouTube algorithm will catch that because that was so fucking good that they think that was really Alan Jackson singing that just now? Oh, here's another crazy one too. I'm a big Scrubs fan. I'm a fan of the show Scrubs. And this is just kind of in the same vein, I should say. So like I said before, we invaded Afghanistan and we invaded Iraq. And there's a whole conspiracy theory about all that too, because we toppled those governments. We made them they're what do you call it? Bank state now or whatever. They didn't have a central bank. Now they have a central bank. There's a whole thing about all that shit too. The whole invasion of them was propelled by the war and whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds on that. But the fact that they're in the show Scrubs, which this happened years before, the janitor in Scrubs says, I don't think we should be looking for bin Laden in Iraq or Afghanistan. We should be looking for him in Pakistan. which, years later, is exactly where they found him. He was in Pakistan. It was a whole episode where JD doesn't know anything about the war, and everybody's talking about the war, and he learns all this stuff about Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff, and then the janitor goes, I think we should look for bin Laden in Pakistan. And he knows nothing about Pakistan, so then he has to go, it's a whole thing. But the crazy thing is, they were right. And I'm not saying that's a conspiracy theory in itself that they actually knew. I think it's just coincidence. A funny one nonetheless. Let's move forward into more tragedy on this lighthearted show that's supposed to be about positivity and motivation. Let's talk about more tragedy. Danny Masterson, Hyde from That 70s Show, sentenced to 30 years in prison for, I can't say the word, the R word. Can I even say the other sexual? I'm not sure what words are allowed and not allowed in the YouTube algorithm, but he was arrested for assault on a woman that happened some 20 years ago or so, and horrible to find out. And like, this has been an ongoing thing, because I remember when he got canceled from The Ranch, when he got let go from the show The Ranch, and which I've always loved his characters, like in that one, and Hyde was one of my favorite characters in That 70s Show. And you never know, you know what I mean? Like, you just never know who out there is going to be a fucking monster and do crazy shit like that. The crazy... Okay, here's one thing I got to say about this, all right? So, Danny Masterson, I'm not sure how many accounts. I think there's like 4 or 5 accounts. And I think he got arrested on like 2 or 3 of them. Danny Masterson's sentenced to 30 years in prison. Yet... And I'm not saying he shouldn't do that. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve that. He absolutely does. But the fact that Bill Cosby's out, kind of fucked up. Pretty fucked up to me. Bill Cosby drugged and assaulted like 60 plus women over the course of like 30 years. And he's out because of some like legal snafu, some a fuck up by the DA or something like that. Dude, that's insane. Not only that, Bill Cosby's going back on fucking tour. Huh? What the hell's going on here? So, yeah, I mean, now here's the real thing with the Danny Masterson stuff. The real twist, the real thing that like nobody has like, now they're starting to, or at least let's put it this way. They probably have been talking about it. I just haven't been paying attention. But the big twist out of all of this is that so much of it revolves around the Church of Scientology. Little did I know, Danny Masterson is a Scientologist, and he has been for some time now. And I believe the women that he assaulted were also part of the Church of Scientology. And when they came forward with their accusations against him, the Church of Scientology silenced them because he's a celebrity, because he's a big name, and because him having done that would be a bad look on the church, him having just the fact that he is a Scientologist, and also they wouldn't want him to be in trouble because they need him with all of his platform to help spread the word of Scientology. And it's all written, like they used whatever they have written in the religion itself. They used things like that to against these women, and that they were going to be shamed and shunned and all this shit. Dude, let me tell you this. Scientology is a absolute fucking cult. I mean, to an extent, all religions are a cult, but this one is fucking weird. Have you ever seen the Scientology building, by the way? It's like royal blue Or maybe the letters are, whatever it is. But it has big block letters that just says Scientology on it, like it's a fucking hotel. It is so weird. Like, that's supposed to be a church? Apparently, in Scientology, when you first get in there, the first thing you have to do is tell them all of your deepest, darkest secrets and all the bad things you've done in life. And then they use that against you if you threaten to leave or say anything bad about the church publicly. That's why all these big celebrities, either if you ever notice, there's a trend here. Either these crazy, you'll find out they'll get what's the word, like blackmailed, I guess, or put on blast about like crazy rumors and stuff, whether it's like sexual related or like if they're known to be a straight guy but they've had gay experiences, they'll come out as they'll be revealed as being gay. There's all kinds of like shit like that comes out about celebrities if they oppose the church or if they like denounce the church in any way. So they blackmail you. Supposedly the rumor is way back in the day, who was it? The guy that was it Hugh Grant? I think. I don't remember who it was. That the whole gerbil in the ass thing. I apologize to Hugh Grant if that's not the guy. But the guy who had the gerbil in the ass. Like, what a crazy rumor. But supposedly that rumor got leaked because of something that happened within the Church of Scientology. That's just what I've heard. So they're absolutely one of the most bizarre, crazy fucking organizations. Can't believe that they're still running. Can't believe anybody actually buys into that shit. It's an absolute cult. Now, I was part of a cult. It was called Catholicism. And they're all very culty. Churches and religion in itself is very culty. I'm not going to say religion. Well, yeah, religion is. Spirituality is not. Religion, yes. Very cult-like. Anytime you're sitting in a room full of people listening to a guy dressed in a cloak and everybody's reciting the same phrases at the same time, yeah, it's kind of culty. Sorry. I'm going to end with this one. Just more bizarre, crazy shit. I've had this in my notes forever, and I've been meaning to talk about it, but it's just never been enough time or big enough thing to talk about. But nonetheless, I have to talk about this. First of all, you guys remember the bear in the Chinese zoo that like looked fake, right? I didn't look too much deeper into that. I did see the video, and it does look very bizarre. I know sun bears are kind of a weird looking animal already, but it does seem to be like maybe not a guy in a suit, but an animatronic of some kind or something weird. There was something weird about that image. Nonetheless, at the same time that was happening, I happened to stumble upon an article that showed there was a man, I want to say in like Japan or some Asian country, who surgically had himself turned into a dog. This man identifies as a dog and went so far as to have himself surgically transformed into a border collie. What the fuck has this world become? It was one thing, okay? It's one thing to change genders, to go from a man to a woman or a woman to a man. I mean, as crazy as that is in it of itself, that's even possible, or that's something that people struggle with and have like identity crises like that. Like what the ultimate identity crisis. You are the wrong gender. But even more so, how about this for an identity crisis? You think you're a dog. You are so certain that you're not human. You're so certain that you're not the person that you're supposed to be. You're so certain that you're not supposed to be who you are. You're certain you're not even a fucking human. To the extent that you don't just act and dress up like a dog. You surgically have yourself transformed into a dog. I'll post, hopefully, I'll edit in here, like, a picture of the guy, of, like, what it looks like. It looks so creepy. It is, like, a true horror movie. This is, like, true, real-life horror. What the, like, I've seen pictures and, like, heard the stories of the guys that turn themselves into, like, lizards, where they have, like, their skin made scaly and sharp teeth, and that's fucking weird too. But at least those people, as they identify as a lizard man or a lizard person, there was the guy that turned himself into a bird, had his ears chopped off and a beak installed. I mean, fucking weird. But at least they are like a lizard man. They're like a hybrid. This guy straight up wants to be a dog. Like, just a dog. Not a dog man or a werewolf or anything like that. He wants to be a border collie. That might be one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard of. It's real-life horror. We are doomed. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this world that people... I mean, we already know. We already know that the world is full of crazy people, and anything crazy that could happen or has ever happened, or you could even imagine happening, has happened or will happen. It's the truth. Any crazy thing in the world that you think somebody has done or could do or is capable of doing is happened. People are capable and willing to do some absolute horrific things. This is some of the top of the list for me. Turning yourself into a fucking dog? That's unreal. That's so crazy. It's heinous, is what it is. And I can't even fucking wrap my mind around it. Before, we're gonna look back on this time so weirdly. We're gonna look back on this time like, what the fuck was going on? You know, in the 80s, the 70s and the 80s, you had like a nice run of serial killers going on. All the famous serial killers and all the big shit. I guess you could count the 90s in there too. Now, we're committing atrocities against our own bodies. Like I feel bad for that guy. Like, I feel bad that he's done this to himself. Like, I guess do what you want, you know, be who you want, be what you want. But dude, it's fucking bizarre, it's weird. Like I said, live your life. I opened the show by saying live your life the way you want to. Hey, I guess if you want to be a dog, be a dog. It doesn't make it any less horrifying. So, you can live your life the way you want. I take nothing away from you on that. Doesn't mean I have to accept it. Doesn't mean I can't be terrified by it. So, if you want to read the article, be my guest. Just be prepared for some like real chills. Because while it seems somewhat innocent on the surface, it is very, very bizarre. In fact, if I can find it real quick, I'm just going to read you the title of the article because, dude, I think that might have even been like more disturbing than the story itself. Turned into dog. Dude, it's so freaky looking. Yeah, Japanese man, I was right. I hope I can find... Dude, it's... It's terrifying. He has somebody walking him around on a leash. Japanese man who spent $14,000. That's all it cost? $14,000? That's all it cost to turn into a dog? Bro. I wish I could find like the article I originally read, because whatever his name's Taco. Oh God. If I could find the original article, whatever the article I read, the title was very disturbing as well. All right. Enough disturbances, enough craziness, enough, tragedy. I'm going to leave you with all that. Be on your way. Be horrified. We are coming into Halloween, so I guess it works out. It's that time of year that we're supposed to be terrified and horrified and disturbed. So I guess it works out. But nonetheless, hey, thank you guys so much for listening. Hope it was entertaining. Hope you enjoyed it. Live your life the way you want to live it. Be that rock star. Live that rock star life. We all just want to be big rock stars. And let's go watch some football. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your life. Like I said, just do it the way you want to do it. Most importantly, though, don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it. Just gotta keep on